Welcome to Joe Stunner Boxing. Nick Ball retains his WBA featherweight title with a unanimous decision over Sam Goodman of Australia. I thought Nick won it. One of the judges had it 115, 113. Yeah, good, but this was a close fight. And the judge that had it 118, 110, God only knows what he was watching. I don't think he knows what he was watching, to be honest. And then there was another one, 117, 111, too wide for me personally. But yeah, okay, the thing about Nick Ball is that I find when he's in a competitive fight, I find it very difficult to score a lot of his rounds because he is obviously very explosive. He's come forward. He's only 5'2" tall. So he comes forward like the proverbial mini Mike Tyson, slinging all sorts of wide hooks over the top, being very explosive, but not all of it lands. And when he's in against someone like Goodman, who is probably a more conventional textbook fighter with a very, very good jab, and instantly when I saw Goodman in the first round, I thought that's a good jab. That's going to be one of the keys to the door. Immediately, when you've got a guy who's like that, who is accurate and throws less punches but with more accuracy, of course, even though they might be less flashy, they might be having more of an effect. So you've got to weigh this up. Yes, he's the guy who comes forward. I'm talking about Ball now. He calls himself the Wrecking Ball. I get it. He's very entertaining. He's very explosive. He's good. He's a good world champion. But I do wonder about when he's in against a good technician, like a Ray Ford. Ford is the one he won the belt off. That was a split decision. He also had a draw with Ray Vargas, which most people think he won. But early on, Vargas was giving him problems, again, with technique, with the jab and so on and so forth. So, yeah, he is a good champion. I'm not saying he didn't win this fight, but two of those cards were just too wide for me. And that was because the work of Goodman should have been appreciated more by two of the judges, as far as I'm concerned. Now, as I say, Ball predictably came forward like he rolls at you. He is like a little ball. He rolls at you. A big ball, a big boulder with arms, throw all sorts of punches. But as I mentioned, right in the first round, Goodman showed a very, very nice jab. Andy Lee was saying that Goodman stands upright a bit too much, sticks his head up in the air. Was it Andy Lee said that, or was it Darren Barker? Probably both of them, actually. But I don't have a problem with. You made a believer out of me because his Goodman's footwork was really, really good, really good. He controlled the range for much of the fight. You've got to contain Ball. I always say it's like diffusing a bomb, and he didn't do it all of the time. Ball clearly won rounds, but there were an awful lot of rounds that were very, very close because of Goodman's technique. Especially the jab through the middle. He was splitting Ball's guard really, really well. And he was banging well to the body. He was hanging a lot of good combinations off the jab. Yes, Ball looked flashier. Yes, Ball was aggressive. He's such a physically strong little sod. When he was getting in close, he was trying to maybe roughhouse Goodman, but Goodman, travelled all that way to win this belt. And showed a lot of self-belief, he took orders well in the corner. They had a good game plan. Like I say, moved his feet well. Mid-range, he seemed to enjoy the mid-range work a bit more than Ball. But you know what you're getting from Ball because he's so short and he's got such short arms. He's got to come in, usually sort of swaying, bobbing and weaving underneath any offense. And the moment he gets in close, he lets the artillery go. So this is not a knock against Ball at all. He won the fight. I think he probably did edge the fight by a couple of points. But Goodman did make a believer out of me. And they were both undefeated going in. Goodman had 20 wins, no defeats, no draws. Doesn't it very hard with single shots. It reminded me of quite a lot of Liam Paro, another Aussie. I think Goodman's only got eight KOs in 20. Paro, pound for pound, probably hits a bit harder. But he's only 26. He can come again. Goodman. As for Ball, still undefeated apart from that draw with Vargas. Good champion. This was his third title defence. Is he going to hang around, wait for a new weight to come up the feather, or is he going to try and unify? I'm a firm believer that you shouldn't wait around for other fighters, that you create your own legacy, make your own money. I always remember Amir Khan's career stalling badly because he was hanging around waiting for either Manny Pacquiao or preferably Floyd Mayweather. And he just, by the time he fought Crawford, he was just, past his best. Never really took a good shot either, did Khan, but he had a lot of speed and a lot of technique. He was actually a very, very good fighter, Amir Khan, but he waited too long. And I firmly believe that fighters shouldn't do that. And Nick Ball should go looking to create his own legacy, have his own pathway. Don't let yourself be defined by other fighters. I mean, Nick Ball is 28, so he's got plenty of time, no problem. And he's going to sell tickets in Liverpool. This was in Riyadh, this particular fight. This was I think his third fight in Riyadh. The Vargas and the Ray Ford fights were in Riyadh. The Ray Ford fight was part of the 5 versus 5. Who knows? Maybe if they have another 5 versus 5, Matchroom and Queensbury, Ball can defend that title. It won't be against Vargas because Vargas is up at super feather now. But yeah, and don't forget, I mean, before he won the title, he had a good win against Isaac Dogbay. That was a good little win against a former world champ. And he won most of the rounds in that. So Nick Ball is a very good little fighter. I think in this particular contest, he finished well, I thought, over the last 3 rounds. But again, Goodman was competitive. And, let's not forget what a scoring punch is. A scoring punch is with the knuckle part of the glove, and it has to land on the target area, which does not include gloves or forearms. So, he's still the champ then. What do you think of Nick Ball? How far do you think he can go in terms of unifications? Can he be undisputed at featherweight? I bet he'd love a rematch with Ray Vargas, wouldn't he? But, is he going to be found out because of his short stature? I mean, don't forget, we've got WBO champion who is Rafael Espinoza at featherweight. He's over 6 feet tall, unbelievably. He's like 6'1". He would be almost a foot taller than Nick Ball. But I don't know. Let me know what you think. Who would you put Ball in with next? And what do you think of this fight? And what do you think of Sam Goodman? Well done, Sam Goodman. You came all this way. I don't think you got the rubber to green with the judges, at least 2 of them anyway. But he may well be invited back on another Riyadh card. I wouldn't be surprised. A rematch against Ball? I don't think Ball will want that. Queensborough will want that. But, they'll probably say there's bigger fish to fry, and maybe they're right. Anyway, thank you for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, please hit the like button and hit subscribe if you're new to the channel. And, great. I'll catch you later. Bye for now.